Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the New Vision podcast. We are on, this is episode 7 now, I think, right? Is that what we're on?
It is, and it's going to be exciting.
We're of course your hosts, Christian.
And obviously, Jordan.
Absolutely. And we are here, this is going to be, we've kind of hyped this up a little bit in the last two episodes. The last two episodes, we really got into seasons 1 and 2 of The Boys, spoiler free, because we're obsessed with the show now, and I blame this man for it, for me. But now we're going to talk about seasons 1 and 2, no holds barred, spoilers, speculation, anything we think that we haven't already said, all that good shit.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen seasons 1 or 2, please go and watch them. Or if you don't care about spoilers, like I personally don't, then stick around, whatever.
To each. If I'm new to something, like you can spoil one little minor thing to me. Other than that, it's like, don't tell me, or I'll beat you up. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to get into initially, I kept forgetting to mention this, but a lot of episodes of the show actually had names that were in the comics. Yeah. For example, the first volume of the comics was called The Name of the Game, and that's what the first episode of season 1 is called, for example. And you have things like that happens with like Butcher Baker Candlestick Maker in season 2, and all kind of other stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, so yeah, this is assuming everyone has listened to, or at least listened to the last 2 episodes we did on this, so they know our thoughts for the most part. What are some things that you've been dying to talk about that you haven't been able to say yet since? What are your overall, first of all, giving spoilers and being allowed to talk spoilers, what are your overall thoughts on seasons 1 and 2 altogether? Which one did you like better, first of all, if you have?
Season 2.
Me too.
Season 2, because it just had a lot more depth to it. Like, granted, season 1, that was the beginning of something new.
Right.
And, you had all these, all these secrets and whatnot, and, all this kind of stuff. But I like season 2 a lot better, because there was, in my opinion, there was more action. Like I said,
I would agree. No, there was. I would agree.
Action.
A more intricate set pieces.
Yeah.
Like when he had the whale and stuff like that, especially.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, because there's a whole. What is it? It's episode. I think it's episode 5.
Yeah, 5.
Is it 5?
I think so.
No. It's episode 3 of season 2,
okay.
Where the Deep comes up with this whale to stop the boys from getting. Well, they're not getting away. They're trying to take Kimiko's brother to the. To basically the CIA, and we talked about this before, right? Where there's a whale, and so we talked about this already. So we've discussed this, but I'm with you. I like season 2 a hell of a lot better. For me, when season 1, I've mentioned this before, but when season 1 ended the way that it did, on the kind of cliffhanger that it did, I had to go into season 2 right away, because the main things that I wanted answered for me were, how did Homelander's son come to be? Mainly, was Rebecca actually raped by Homelander, or did she cheat on Butcher with Homelander? Mm-hmm. And then the other thing was, what's going on with Starlight and Huey's relationship? Those were honestly the main things that I was the most concerned about. And that might even show you a little bit about kind of where my priorities are and stuff. But like, relationships are very. I love the character of Starlight so much, and I love the character of Huey as well, and their dynamic and everything, and the dynamic he has with.
Just a boy. And
the dynamic he has with Butcher and everyone. He really is like the kind of. What's really cool about both Huey and Starlight throughout the both seasons is you have this thing where Huey is kind of the audience's introduction to superheroes.
Yeah.
From the perspective of normal people like us. But then Starlight, Annie's is the introduction of superheroes from the superhero perspective, from someone who grew up wanting to be a hero and all that stuff. And it's it's really good. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot more dealt with in this. I mean, we mentioned before that like there were a lot of things. There were a lot of topics that this covered, like political stuff. Politics, religion, all sorts of different pop culture and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, in season 2, they're constantly making fun of the Zack Snyder Justice League and everything with Dawn of the Seven and all that shit.
Gosh.
So we talked about this, but also like, you know, in season 2, or at the end of season 1, you have Homelander. This is the first time you see him actually kind of snap and go a direction that I thought he was going to go this direction, but you might not have necessarily thought this right away. Where he sits down on the couch next to or in front of Stillwell, Madeline Stillwell.
Yeah.
He looks into her eyes. He fucking lasers her. I was waiting for something like that to happen with that character because I love the dynamic that she like kind of has control over him, but she's also fearful of him. Contrast that with season 2, where you have Edgar played, and we mentioned before, he's of course played by, I can't ever remember the guy's name, and I'm terrible about that. I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce it anyway, but the
Stan
amazing,
or something?
I believe it's pronounced Giancarlo Esposito, but he plays the character of Stan Edgar. Now, he just did a fucking amazing job, and because he's this character that, as far as we know at least, he's a human. And he's standing toe-to-toe against Homelander. He's like, you don't scare me. He's like,
He probably is a suit. Like,
he might be.
honestly.
Do you think he is? That's one of the things we're going to get into, speculation.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, like...
Why do you think... If he is, do you think he, like, can, I don't know, mind control people or anything like that?
I mean, literally, like any other quote-unquote normal person that isn't injected with Compound V, like, they were confronted, like Edgar was confronted by Homelander, they got literally face-to-face with each other, any other normal, quote-unquote normal person would, like, be scared, like, oh my gosh, he's like gonna laser me, or something.
Yeah.
He's just calm, he's just staring into the eyes of Homelander and be like, I ain't scared, like, I control you, basically.
What's interesting, too, is because you have the whole dynamic where he even tells Homelander, he's like, you're under the assumption that we're making superheroes. We're not. We're a pharmaceutical company. That's what we are first and foremost. So if we lose you or whatever, that doesn't destroy our bottom line. You're not as important to us as you think you are.
Just a number.
Basically. But at the same time, he's pretty much a god. No one is more powerful than him. His son may end up being more powerful. And I think they might go this direction where he's going to be more powerful. I'm fine with that. Because, like...
And you are correct.
That he's going to be more powerful?
Oh, yeah.
Has it been confirmed?
By one of the screenwriters or, the script people.
Was it Eric? Eric Kripke, the director? He's been talking a lot about...
But I actually saw a Facebook video, like an interview about, like, towards the end of season 2 and all that kind of stuff. And the reporter asked, the screenwriter guy, whatever, he asked him, like, can you give anything away? Like, is Ryan going to be, like, just like a regular super, or he's going to be more powerful? And the guy, totally forgot his name, what you said.
Eric Kripke, the director.
Yeah, Eric Kripke, the director, my bad.
Or maybe it's Kripke.
He said, yeah, he is going to be more powerful. And there was actually a video that I watched the other day on YouTube, and the title of the episode was, "Are Natural Born Soups More Powerful Than Compound V Soups?"
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, I think, like an hour and 20-minute long video, and there was a couple of real-life interviews, and one of the interviews was the director saying, yes, natural-born soups
and that makes sense.
are more powerful, because, they're more powerful.
And that does totally make sense. By the way, it's Kripke. Eric Kripke is how you pronounce it.
And another thing is, at the end of season 1, if you looked at the child actor that was playing Ryan,
yes,
you look at him, and then you go to Ryan in season 2, two totally different kids.
no, it's not.
That is. What are you talking about?
So his name is Okay, this is cool actually. So his name is Cameron Corvetti.
What does he look like?
The audience won't see this, but this is what it looks like.
Yeah, that's season 2.
But that's what he was like in season 1 as well.
No, it wasn't.
He was, yes, he was the same kid in season 1.
He didn't look like him. I can tell you that right now.
Do you know how much difference a year can make in how someone? I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the same kid. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. His performance in season 2 was really fucking good.
Well, that's just something I noticed. So
right. What I noticed was they went a very different direction than I thought they were going to in season 2. And what I mean by that is, so initially, because you end season 1 with Homelander coming to the house, being like, "Oh, we're all one family," and his eyes glow red and stuff. Leading me, I kind of almost thought there was going to be this thing where it was like, maybe he even knew about his son, and he was like already training him to be like a ruthless killer or something like that. And holding Becca there against her will or something like that. What's interesting, by the way, is his name is Ryan Butcher in the on IMDb at least. But there were a lot of just really interesting twists and turns, and if you and we did, of course, because I watched season 6. I meant season 2, episode 8. I don't know why I said 6 at all, but I watched episode 8 and finished season 2 before you and I went and binged the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Going through that again, there are a lot of little key kind of subtle things you notice, because when you have like the characters that kind of, one of them, I mean, you have I gotta find the name of the character again. Victoria Newman. Victoria, she a whole curveball is thrown with her, because throughout the entire season, of course, not the entire season, but there's a few episodes where people's heads are just popping, like for no reason.
It's nasty.
And they throw you a curveball because there's this character, and I can't remember what her name is, but she is shown in this like mental ward they have for superheroes, where they basically captured these people, and they're forcing them to be these into being these superheroes. Pretty sure the character's name is Cindy or something like that. But she has the ability to like basically crush things like from a distance and make them kind of implode and stuff.
Yeah.
That, and a lot of myself included, a lot of people were thinking she was responsible for the attack at the end of episode 7, season 2, episode 7, when in actuality she wasn't. We find out in episode 8, because you have the leader of the collective, sitting there on his phone talking to Newman. Yeah. And at first you're like, oh, okay, so they're in bed together. But then you find out his head pops. He goes to pop his little fresco, and his head just just all. And then you cut to the shot where you have Newman just looking outside with her eyes having this like fog to them. That fog disappears, and you see shit. She's a soup. She's the one. Now we know she's responsible for the head popping. It was really good attention to detail that the director and writers and everyone did. When you have the first head pop, you don't see who it was or anything like that. But the first time a head pops, it's the character Susan Rayner, who is like working with Butcher and everyone else to work things out. Which, by the way, in the comics, Butcher and Susan have a very interesting relationship where they're like, I guess they are friends with benefits essentially, and she helps him with everything that the boys are doing and all that. But anyway, so with when her head pops, you just think, oh shit, someone's, I don't know, you don't really know what to think, and the boys don't know what to think either, so you're right on page with them. But in episode 7 at the courthouse, when heads start popping, you notice the first head that pops, which is the guy that's like conducting the hearing, when his head pops, you notice Newman's looking at him. And blood flies in her face. She closes her eyes and blood flies in her face. At first you're thinking, okay, well, she's just looking at him because it was she was looking at him because he was talking, But what you notice, if you go back and look at episode 7, you can see every person that she looks at, their head pops. Every person she looks at, like, intentionally, right? And there's even a part where, because she's acting all afraid and everything and all that. And then there's this part where someone takes her and they're like, come on, we got to get you out of here. I believe it might be, who was the character that...
I think it was the assistant.
I'm pretty sure it was, if I find the person, the one who's, like, working with Butcher and the rest of the boys now, Grace Mallory. Mm-hmm. Where she grabs Newman and she's like, we got to get you out of here.
Yeah.
And what, she's acting all afraid and everything, like she's shell-shocked, and she looks back at someone and their head pops and she keeps running and everything. So if you go back and you look at episode 7, you can actually see how well that was conducted and everything. Very interesting how that was done and all that. Another character that is kind of obvious from the beginning, but not super obvious, when you find out Stormfront and their true intentions.
She's a
how much
Nazi.
She is a Nazi.
Nazis.
Yeah, she's fucking terrible. But what's funny also, some of the things about her character are funny. Like, there's some of the, I guess, commentary and jokes they've made about different stuff. Like, for example, the campaign with her and Homelander. Mm-hmm. They literally say, we need to make America safe again. If that's not fucking obvious, like, Jesus Christ. But no, the entire
Germany Stormfront.
Well, that's the thing too, is because Stormfront is from Germany. She's essentially the main. She was the first like super soldier, but then you also have the boys' version of Captain America, who's going to be in season 3, Soldier Boy, being played by Jensen Ackles, of course, Sam in... Dean, I'm sorry. Supernatural fans are going to bite my head off for that. Dean from Supernatural, which
I was never really into that show.
Well, Eric Kripke worked on Supernatural as well, so he's bringing over... And that makes sense, and it works. And yeah, I can see Jensen doing a really good... I mean, I don't know anything about Soldier Boy, so maybe I shouldn't. So, it has been confirmed as well that in season 3... They're going to be doing an adaptation of the comic storyline from the series called Herogasm. Herogasm is essentially Spring Break gone wild, like Spring Breakers gone wild with superheroes. They're doing all kind of crazy shit.
What it is.
One of the things that Eric did say they're not going to be having in the show is there's a very explicit scene between Homelander and
they're gonna be they're gonna be doing the nasty.
Yeah, but between Homelander and Soldier Boy.
Oh.
So yeah. And I think his whole thing is that doesn't really go with his Homelander, doesn't really go with his character. And at this point, I'm not sure it does because he's off the fucking rails. I mean, he's
literally crazy.
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
He cracked. He's now.
Because at the end of season 3, of course, you have Ryan literally. Well, he doesn't actually kill Stormfront. It was initially thought to believe that she's dead, but apparently she is on for season 3. Aya Cash is on for season 3 as Stormfront, and what people are thinking, and I think this is probably going to happen too, they're going to do like a Darth Vader type of thing with her, where she's going to have like a robotic body or something.
Yeah.
She can heal and shit really well. I mean, remember, she took like Homelander's lasers to her tits like it was nothing. And healed really quickly. But I don't think she can regenerate. She's not like Gecko.
No.
But regardless, her characters, and I think the Deep is just going to keep being kind of a punching bag.
Yeah, he's kind of stupid. Like
whatever. I'm on one hand, because at the end of season 3, you have Starlight and Maeve are pretty much on the same. Everyone's pretty much on the boys' team except for Homelander at this point, it seems, right? Because of course Starlight is.
A-Train.
Well, I think A-Train's really just for himself because when he comes to Starlight and Huey and he gives him the files and he's like, I hate that Nazi bitch, you know, and he just wants to take her out because of her, right? And even when Maeve came back and they had the fucking amazing superpower beatdown, which was so cool. Well, I've already. Did I? Yeah, I meant. Yeah. We talked about that in Gusto, right? Yeah. So but it was fucking good. It was really good. Yeah. So when you have that situation, you notice A-Train's not in it. Once he gives Huey and Starlight the files, he leaves, and he's not seen again until the collective meeting, where they tell him, okay, we're going to bring you back into the Seven.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, A-Train is back. And then they, of course, don't bring, the Deep.
Yeah.
But you have...
Just go freelance, man.
Just go free. Well, that's
what... Like, honestly, go freelance. Who cares?
Well, because for him, it's not about being a superhero. It's about all the fame and fortune that he gets with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, he's in a shit ton of debt and different things. So
just be a celebrity on your own. You don't need a...
No, you don't. But the Seven give them like this special thing that they don't get on their own. It's okay. You and I are independent artists. You know it's difficult to do this shit on your own. You have to have some kind of team behind you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, we're just starting out, mind you, but even still, it's difficult for us to do this shit on our own. It's always more difficult to do because that's the thing too, right? A lot of the Seven and the boys. Mainly the Seven is kind of a commentary on celebrity culture, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of. You know, I mean, you can see it as him being like, he was a star athlete and he was on this team, or he was, I don't know, a rock or pop star and was signed with a major record label, or he was, signed with a studio or a film franchise. It could go so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Of course, for him, for A-Train, he is an athlete, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think A-Train is more so neutral, if I'm complete. He's probably going to be more of kind of an anti-hero, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, of course, definitely, like, we mentioned that season 2 ended things pretty well. It wrapped stuff up pretty well. We didn't really mention how, though. Or did we? Well, we didn't... I don't think we mentioned that, like, Becca's dead. And...
She's dead, yes.
Grace mentions to Billy, the boys can keep doing what they're doing with CIA funding now.
Yeah, basically.
And he doesn't say anything, he just puts on sunglasses and walks away. He fucking tells... it's amazing when he's telling Ryan, he's like... He gives Ryan the necklace of Becca as well, which is really sweet. That's really sweet. But also brings him to the CIA and he's like, remember what I told you? The little kid says, don't be a cunt. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And then
God damn it,
Butcher
Billy.
has this approval, all right, here we go. I like this kid.
Yeah. It's cool, man. But yeah, you have, so it's, now we're at a point where it's, where do we go from here? And this is the fun part. This is where we get into
they kind of
speculation.
Disbanded, but not really. They're still kind of together, but they've kind of disbanded.
In the comics,
because
Billy,
because Mother's Milk is with his family,
right?
Kimiko
so sweet.
And
they go dancing. It's so
Frenchie
cute.
are
dancing,
doing their things. Butcher is somewhere.
Yeah, and Huey and Starlight are finally going to attempt an actual relationship.
Starlight's still with the Seven,
which I think is now, and I wanted to mention that because I think the idea of if
are they now the 5? Because
they're the 4. they're the 4.
So she's with the 4 now.
Yeah.
And then Huey's working with the bad guy now, but he doesn't know that.
He's working with Newman because there's this scene. Because everything does wrap up really nicely, and I remember when I saw the scene at the end where, because Huey's talking to Starlight and he's saying about how he needs to stand on his own 2 feet and he's too clingy and all this stuff. I was so fucking pissed. I was yelling at my phone when I was watching it, because I was watching on my phone. But I was yelling at it because I was like, "You don't fucking do this bullshit. Do not fucking." And then at the end, she's like, "Fine, okay, we'll just be friends." And you can tell she's heartbroken and everything. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh no, fucking." I'm not crazy. I'm still gonna cling to you. And she's I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, because I hate the like, will they or won't they bullshit. I really do. I really fucking hate it. But anyway, and then she's like, well then, who are you gonna? What are you talking about? Like, and then you see later the scene where you have Newman walking through her office, and she steps in, and Huey's there. And he's like, I'd like a job. I'm still going to be, he basically says I'm still going to be working with the boys. I'm still going to be doing all this, but I also want to fight in like a legal way. I want to fight. Because, she's congresswoman and all that shit, right? Yeah. And a lot of people have said that she is, and I don't know if it was an intentional or not. It could have been. A lot of people think, though, that she was meant to, Newman, that her character is meant to represent the character the real life person, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. I don't know.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so was that confirmed that she is? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I know with, for example, in the comics, Victoria Newman is just like Victor something.
Yeah, Victor.
Like, yeah. And so he's a completely different character. But again, that's what I love so much about like this show isn't the comic. All right, it's so much of it is different. In my opinion, so much of it is better. There's a lot of shit they do in the comic that is just not even okay for TV. Like for example, when Homelander's baby is born, or more accurately in the comics, when Black Noir's baby is born, it literally rips open her stomach and like forces its way out, killing her. And it has these like laser eyes and shit. And Billy fucking takes it and slams against the wall and kills it. And like, Jesus Christ!
That's
like with the
terrible.
umbilical cord still attached and everything. It's like, Jesus, holy shit! Oh my God! Well, Billy's a lot. He's kind of a shithead in the comics too, right?
Good thing they kind of softened him up for TV.
I think so. I think I don't know if soften him up is the right word.
Well, from the comics to this, he's definitely softened up.
Yeah, I guess that's. And then one of the cool things is we have Homelander where he doesn't have anything anymore because his son, once his son accidentally killed his mom and more importantly fried Stormfront, he tells he has the choice to of course go with Homelander, and he walks over to Billy instead, and Billy picks him up, walks past, and he's about to kill him, and then fucking Maeve comes in where she's like, listen, and she's like, I have this fucking video of you doing this shit on the plane,
yeah.
And she's like, you're gonna stop hunting Starlight, you're gonna leave me, and I can't remember what her girlfriend's name was, I'm sorry.
Alicia something?
Elisa, something like that, yeah.
Something.
You're gonna leave me and her alone, and you're going to leave your son and Billy and all them alone, right? You're gonna stop all the bullshit you're doing. Yeah, okay, I thought I found it for a minute, I didn't. But yeah, no. And then he does. He leaves. Because his whole thing is,
his weakness is fame and reputation.
I think it's Elena, by the way.
Oh, Elena, Alicia, whatever.
But anyway.
All start with an A.
No, it's an E.
Alicia?
Yeah. No, Elisa or Elena. Either way, they start with E's, not A's.
She was like, whatever.
No, I get it. But I'm sure. See, I'm interested to see the dynamic. I'm interested to see the dynamic with all these characters because now they don't have Homelander hanging over their head, or at least they don't think they do, or they don't think they will, or something.
I just want to see Ryan and his dad throw down for real.
You want to see them throw down? Well, it's going to be tough to
just an all out, no holding, just go at each other.
It's going to be tough to do with a kid and an adult. It's going to be really tough to do that in live action.
Well, Ryan aged up.
Yeah.
So
Wait, did he actually? Is that like part of? Has that been confirmed or
Yeah.
something?
Oh, yeah.
Because there was. I know.
Trust me, I've done all my research.
You've done more research than I have. I thought I've done research on this. Okay, so you might know more as far as the speculation side of things go then too. So one thing I'm interested to see as well if it happens, and I'm hoping it doesn't, but I can kind of see it working well, is this concept where either Starlight or Huey find out what's going on with Newman, and one of them find out and the other one doesn't, and either Huey doesn't trust her because he finds out what's going on, or Starlight doesn't trust her because she finds out what's going on, and there's going to be this thing where it's like, oh no, like I know what I'm doing, you know, kind of thing, and like you and then there's but you just don't see, like you have to trust me, you know, and then there's going to be this fucking, because Kripke even said, they were asked like, will they get a shot at like an actual like relationship? He's like, nah. He's like, I'm not going to be that good to them.
Nah.
He's like, they're still going to have problems and shit.
He's just like, nah.
But what I think, one of the things I want to see is I want to see, and same with Elena. Elena, that's what it is.
Elena.
But all these characters, I want to see them be able to have like their regular lives be like okay, like they're not constantly, not a ton of infighting with the boys, not a ton of, you know, bullshit with Huey and Starlight, or fucking Mother's Milk and his family, and et cetera, right? But I want to see where the Supes, and specifically Homelander, is more their problem. To the point where we see that even after everything they've done, because he's still out there, he's constantly like lingering over them, and they're like kind of, he's like a dark shadow over them, you know? But again, and then there's also this theory, I think this could be very likely as well, for there to be kind of like a love triangle sort of situation with Huey, Annie, and Victoria, where she'll try to like
Victoria's
steal
pretty
Huey
hot.
from. Yeah, but where she'll try to like steal Huey away from Annie or something like that. I can see that happening. There's also, I've seen some talks that maybe he'll give she'll give him. Well, here's the thing. Now, what someone put in a comment on a YouTube video that I had read, they mentioned, oh, she's the way they wrote it was like, she's definitely gonna give him the V next season, but here's the thing, because I initially thought that meant she's gonna fuck him, and there's, you know, they're gonna have this, like I said, the relationship dynamic and love triangle and all that shit. But what it could have meant, and what even if they didn't mean it this way, sometimes the Vought compound V is referred to as the V. So maybe she would give him, or she would try to, because again, in the comics, they're all given compound V, but it doesn't give them powers, it just amplifies their current abilities. So that's, but with the Herogasm storyline, that was part of where Annie and Huey really developed a relationship, because she didn't want to partake in what everyone else was doing, and she called him, and they had this like long distance relationship thing going back and forth, and it was really, really kind of sweet and everything. But you know, this is the boys. You're not gonna get sweet. You're not gonna get fucking, you know. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be. But so, what are your? I know you want to see Ryan and Homelander throw down, and that would be badass, of course.
That would be.
What do you think is gonna? Because we haven't talked about much. Like, what do you think is gonna happen with the Deep or Black Noir? When we last saw him, he was fucking. He was beaten by the fucking chocolate bar.
Almond Joy. Man. Like, gosh, that you know, that's a weakness.
Did we talk about that last time? How he, or did we not want to spoil that? Regardless, Black Noir is allergic.
You know, Annie's walking along the hallway, right? And while everyone's kind of like running out because, you know, it's locked down, you know,
she's escaping.
Literally, crazy things are just happening all over, and you know, she's walking through the hallways and, you know, trying to look for whoever, and Black Noir kind of throws her down, kind of beats on her a little bit,
right?
Basically, slams her head into the.
He doesn't basically. He does it.
Yeah.
Slams her head into the table.
Slams her head into the table, and, you know, she gets knocked out cold or whatever, and, you know, she wakes up to see frickin' Maeve kicking his butt, and then she starts to pull off his mask and shove an almond joy into this man's mouth. He just starts like, just doubling over, and he's basically dying. And he's reaching for like his medicine crap, and she kicks it away.
EpiPen.
Yeah, EpiPen. He's just kind of.
There's a reason for that too. Black Noir, the actor, the way that came about, there was it was like an interview or something that they did, where they were talking about how that bit came about. It was because they got these like gift baskets for being on the show.
Yeah.
This was like in season 1, and they were at a convention. They were coming back from a convention, and someone had almond joy or something. They offered some of it to, or there was almond joy in the bag or whatever it was, and the actor for Black Noir was like, "Oh, I can't eat this. I'm allergic." So that's why Black Noir is allergic to.
Yeah, and he's in the ICU, just kind of brain dead.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. I'm really interested to see where they go with his character as well, because
he might actually speak.
He might actually speak. But I'm interested because, in the again in the comic, he's of course Homelander's clone.
Yeah.
And they're not going that way at all, which I'm glad. But they're not going that way at all with this show. I'm really interested to see what they're doing with the character of Black Noir, because I know it's going to be interesting. It's going to be.
You got the name wrong.
What?
You got the name wrong. It's Black. Right.
Jesus.
Forever in my mind.
God Black. I just want to know if, like, in French, he's called Noir.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
But poor Lamplighter, though. I actually feel sorry for him.
Yeah. Well, okay. So again, going back to the comics, in there, he's already dead, and he is basically this zombified version of himself. So they might still be doing that with this show. He might be a zombified version of Lamplighter in season 3. Which, by the way, we actually just found this out right before we started recording. We found out season 3 of episode 1. Season 1 of episode 3 is apparently going to be titled Payback.
I mean season 3 of episode 1. Well,
episode 1 of season 3.
Yeah. My bad.
I fucked up the first time. Yeah. Season 1 of episode 1 of season 3 is going to be titled Payback. All we know is it's going to be released in 2021. We don't know anything else, but
that's a shame.
God. I mean, you always, it's like a year between seasons.
Yeah.
It always, or several months. It always
is.
In
October?
When it started again? When season 2 started?
No, like right now we're in October, right?
Yeah, we're in October. Yeah, currently. It is October 20th at the time of this recording. So there you go. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anyway, yeah, Do you think we're going to find that other superheroes have powers? Like, for example, Victoria Newman mentioned she had a daughter. Do you think maybe her daughter has superpowers? Do you think this kind of soup children thing is going to come into play at all?
I think it is.
Okay.
Because the first natural born soup is Ryan.
Right.
Well, as far as we know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other possible other child would be Victoria Newman's girl.
Do you remember? I just had this thought. You remember in the first half of season 3?
And Tinkerer may. Okay.
Who's Tinkerer?
No, sorry, not Tinkerer. I'm thinking about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Marvel. Yeah.
What's his face? He touches people and he can see their memories.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah,
Mesmerizer, he's dead.
Yeah.
Billy fucking murdered him.
Yeah, I know, but he had a kid. He had a daughter.
Oh, yeah, he had that daughter, yeah.
So she might have his powers. Or,
that's right.
Obviously Ryan has laser vision.
And can probably fly. He hasn't shown it yet, but he can probably fly. And has strength and shit.
But can they have other powers? Like, can they develop, their own powers?
Mm-hmm.
So.
What happens if, two suits make a child together?
Yeah.
Right? Because that was...
Or if, let's say Homelander with all of his powers had Ryan, let's say...
Right.
Ryan had a totally different set of powers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a thing in this universe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting too because with Compound V, it's you're not guaranteed what kind of powers you're gonna get. Like anyone can get anything.
Shout out
But,
to Project Power. That's a great movie.
Project Power.
Project Power. It's on Netflix.
Look that up right now.
Great.
Is it what is it similar to The Boys or something?
No,
I don't know why.
it's far from The Boys.
It's got Jamie Foxx, I see.
Basically, it's in obviously, our time, real world. It's whatever. So there's basically this pill that's about this big.
Yeah, I see it. He's holding it
audience,
in the thing.
and you twist it,
Uh-huh.
and you don't like bite into it. You twist it.
You drink the fluid from it?
No, you twist like it's a capsule.
Uh-huh.
You twist it and you swallow it.
Uh-huh, like a pill.
And obviously your acids will
Sure.
dissolve it, and then you literally get a random power. Like in the beginning, there's this one terrorist guy that shout out Jamie Foxx was chasing in the movie. The first ever power that I saw was this guy twisted the capsule, swallowed it.
Mm-hmm.
He was engulfed in. He was basically like the Human Torch. He was engulfed in flames. But,
Looks like it only lasts for 5 minutes, though,
it does.
from what I'm seeing here.
That's one of the blowbacks. It
Yeah.
only lasts for 5 minutes.
And I imagine it looks like, because I see this kid here in a screenshot, or I don't know if a screenshot's the right word, a still from the movie, where he's like, his face is all mangled, and he's like dying here, and he's this kid right here. Once again, the audience.
That
will
is
see.
the fire guy.
That's the fire guy.
Because at first his 5 minutes was up, and his
And he was
powers
still
went
on
away.
fire?
No, he was mangled like that.
Uh-huh.
And he had more pills,
Uh-huh.
and he took some more, and he got more fiery,
Okay.
and then he blew up.
Jesus.
Yeah, and another blowback is.
But can you choose? Does like a different type of pill give you a?
Well, yeah. So, like, let's say you have 10 pills. The second pill can give you invisibility. The ninth pill can give you indestructible skin. It's whatever power you get, but you don't always get a power. Let's say I took it, right? I took a pill. I was like, oh, I can't wait to like fly or shoot lasers or whatever.
Sure.
I could explode.
Right, yeah.
A
Well,
person couldn't get any powers; they just explode.
And again, same thing happens with Compound V and The Boys. There's a very similar, because that's people can get either a really good power or a shitty power. Oh, reminds me, a character that is apparently going to be in season 3 as well, Love Sausage.
Oh gosh.
Which in the comics, he's this like very Russian communist character who he works with the boys. He helps the boys. And yes, he does. Except, although his superpower is to extend his penis a lot, which is funny.
He's kind of like a Mr. Fantastic. Except he can only extend his penis.
Started when he attacked MM in the show. He kind of like grabbed his neck, right, and kind of did like a boa constrictor kind of thing. I'm really curious to see if he can like use it as like a sword or something and like fight. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's weird, but
Jesus,
like
people, this is his
mindset.
mindset.
But I mean like not a sword, but like a okay, like, you know how like Venom, for example, he has those tendrils. Like that, like a tendril, or like how Alex Mercer does from the Prototype games, something like that, where you have like a whip kind of thing, right? I don't know. It's just a thought, but
yeah, that seems gross. It was just like
I thought it was funny.
I mean, shoot, it was funny because at the end, Mother's Milk was like, what was that? And then French is like, you basically got to have an open mind.
Yeah. No, yeah. He was like, don't be so close-minded.
Yeah, I'd be scarred.
Yeah.
To have a giant penis wrapped around me.
Well, you think about all these cool powers and stuff you could have, but like, what if your power was just something like you can grow hair really fast? You know what I mean? Like, think about that.
I don't know.
Or if it was like,
Actually, I do know. That'd be really stupid.
yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
this is stupid.
Mhm. I know, yeah.
But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, some guys that can't grow like a lot of facial hair, like let's say they
want that power.
Yeah, they have the power. Oh, they're like, oh, I want a mountain man beard, and then just their face is just a mountain man mustache. No, not mustache, beard. So.
I mean, honestly, that would probably be one of the most like realistic powers to be real, but because you're basically just speeding up your follicle growth. Your follicles already do that, but I don't know. I don't know, but I think there have been movies or TV shows of things like that where a character would have that type of thing. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know that they do exist. But what other so it has been pretty much confirmed that they're going for at least 5 seasons, maybe even 6. Yeah, maybe even 6.
That's great.
But yeah, I know.
That's fantastic.
But because I know how the comic ends, and it doesn't seem like it's going to end like that in the show. I really hope it doesn't, because it's literally Billy killing everybody except for Huey and Starlight. Hell, and there's not even really a fight with Homelander because Black Noir kills him first. So you have. But what would you like to see in season 3, for example? What are some things that you think would be really cool? I know you want to see again Ryan and Homelander fight, but other than that, oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to bring this up. It's kind of a prediction I have. Do you remember at the end of the first half of season 3 in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where after Zuko had gotten back into good graces with his father, with the Fire Nation and everything, he would visit his uncle. He'd visit Uncle Iroh in prison. I almost think something similar to that is going to happen with Homelander and Stormfront, where Stormfront's this mangled mess, and she's they're designing parts for her to put arms and different, so she has a Darth Vader type of thing, and Homelander is going to visit her from time to time and talk to her, and she's going to regain her memory or try to, and all these different things are going to happen because when we saw her at the end, she actually. And she was fried and everything.
She was speaking German.
She was speaking German, exactly. And did I ever go over what she was actually saying?
I actually saw. I actually looked at a translation video of what she was saying.
Yeah, there have been tons out, but did I talk about it on the podcast yet?
I don't think so.
So, and I initially thought, by the way,
just a friendly reminder. If
of what?
If we didn't talk about.
Oh yeah, sure.
We did. Friendly reminder.
And one thing I wanted to say about this too, real quick, is so when Ryan killed, well, he didn't kill her right away, but when he fried Stormfront and sliced his mom's neck, I initially thought that, oh my god, wait, maybe Beck actually lived through this, because when I heard the talking, I thought it was her off camera going talking to Ryan, trying to comfort him, it's okay, sweetie, kind of we got her, mommy's here, kind of, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And then when I realized it wasn't, and Stormfront was there, so what she was speaking German. What she actually said was
something about I wish
I have it right here.
Have a family or something.
I have it right here. I'm actually going to say what she said.
Okay, well, I was just thinking out to myself. So,
do you remember the day, Frederick? Chloe's arms out of the car window. We found the perfect spot by the river, in the shade of an apple tree. It was the first time Chloe ate fresh apples. And basically, she's just remembering a really happy memory. I thought it was partly because she was dying, and she was seeing a happy moment before she went to the light, before she died. But now we know she's not dead. So I'm really curious to see what they do with her dynamic of, her whole thing of if she's going to regain her memory, or what's going to happen with that, if Homelander has to teach her something or what have, I don't know. It's
I
going
hate
to
the
be.
relationship between those two. They're both sick.
Oh, of course they're sick,
Like,
but
yeah.
that's what makes it so great. They're such horrible people that they make such a good villainous couple. It's really interesting how it works. And together they're a real force to be reckoned with. But you also have one of the things I'm the most interested to see is how the dynamic is going to work with Maeve and Starlight still in the Seven, but not on Homelander's side anymore, and see this kind of back and forth because again they have blackmail on Homelander.
I think Homelander will kind of be a good boy.
Yeah, I think at first, but I think he's going to get to the point where he's like, I don't fucking care anymore, because
You right? Maybe not.
we've seen that he's lost everything, and the only thing he has that he really cares about now is the admiration of people. And he also found that millions of people that he doesn't even know, their admiration is more important to him than his son. Which in a way, yeah, exactly. I will say though, in some ways, I kind of felt like I do think Homelander legitimately does care for his son. He doesn't know how to be a good person or a good father, but I think he does legitimately care for him, and I think he is concerned that he was going to grow up in a similar way to what he did, and he didn't want that for him. So I think we're going to see a back and forth. I think one of the things we're going to see is probably him trying to bargain with Edgar, right? Where they're trying to do this like, I don't know, he'll really be under Edgar's thumb or something, where he'll have him carry out different missions or whatever, or he'll even just have him sit still like a good boy. I don't know how he's gonna. I'm really curious to see where they go with that concept. The concept of, because again, you have Maeve and Starlight. They're gonna still be living in the tower. They're gonna be working with him and everything, but they don't like Homelander. Even at the end where they're doing the press briefing. And Homelander's all like, "Oh, we have Stormfront secured and everything." My
best friends.
Yeah, my good friends. Yeah, and they just
liar.
Clearly. Starlight has her arms crossed the whole time, and Maeve does. At first, she's standing in like a more, I guess, respecting position, but then she crosses her arms too at a certain point, and they're just like fucking staring daggers at him. Like they
BSing, man.
Yeah, but I'm also interested to see how it's going to go with, A-Train. For example, how he's going to be.
I think A-Train could be a good guy.
I think he could, but I'm
really
curious to see where they go with his character, like from now and everything.
Because he's kind of a douche, but then again, he's not. He has that
he's a douche, but the problem is he's doing the thing is a
good leader.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people are doing the horrible things that they are out of fear of Homelander. Because, we've seen that Queen Maeve can legitimately be a superhero. But when she's in situations with Homelander, it's either, okay, I, get killed by him, or I live to fight another day and to save other people that I can. And I think just after a certain amount of time, Maeve just got desensitized, which is why it was so important for Starlight to come along, because she reinvigorated that passion to protect and to care for people and stuff again.
Yeah.
And I think, the plane was really her breaking point when she saw just how horrible Homelander really can be. And then, because, she's even bargaining with him in that scene, where she's like, just these two, just take these two children. Just take this girl and her mother. No. He won't do any of it. And, so...
See, one thing I really want to see happen in season 3 is, obviously the CIA are good people.
I do want to see Homelander go more berserk, by the way. I really want to see... Especially because Anthony Starr is such a good fucking actor.
He plays there are some actors that play bad guys very well.
He's definitely one of them.
To most people, it's they're the evil role is the only role people can see that actor playing.
Yeah.
Freaking seeing, I don't know.
Well, Dennis Hopper, for example.
Yeah.
His wife was so terrified when he played in Silence of I hope it's Dennis Hopper. I hope I'm right on this. Silence of the Lambs.
Never seen it.
That she actually divorced him because she was so scared of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
At least that's how the story goes.
That's
There could have been more to it. God damn it! It was Anthony Hopkins. Who was Dennis Hopper?
Anthony Hopkins. Okay. But as I was saying, like, obviously, like Mallory and all the CIA people, they're good guys, I really want to see them and kind of Billy a little bit kind of train up Ryan.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. It like for them to start from the beginning. You know what would be cool too, right?
Yeah,
seeing them
from the beginning.
train.
Basically, he's another Homelander if he is taught bad
Yeah.
things.
Well, something that could be cool too is like seeing them train him as a
Actual superhero.
as an actual superhero, and
Like,
also
for real.
to mainly to combat Homelander.
Yeah.
Homelander. And then Billy takes a bit of an issue with how he's being treated because he doesn't get to really be treated like a kid anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's being treated like a weapon.
Or,
Okay, this is what I thought. Okay, Dennis Hopper played Bowser in the terrible live-action Mario Bros. Movie.
never seen it.
Or technically, he
Never want
played
to.
King Koopa. It's not good. I've only seen bits and pieces.
yeah,
You don't need to see it.
I thought it was bad.
It's
just
shit.
by even hearing about it.
The guy that played Luigi,
Gosh,
this
just sounds terrible.
he said it was
Like
Oh no, Bob Hoskins. No, it was John, or was it Bob Hoskins? When interviewed about the movie, he said, "Yeah, that Mario movie, worst fucking mistake I ever made. No one likes that they were in."
Like there are just some
movie.
things, like some franchises that should not be made into TV shows or movies.
Well, they're working on
Or
making
cartoon show. Cartoon shows would be a little bit more better for like Mario, all that kind of stuff.
Well, there was a cartoon show for Mario,
but
but also, and it wasn't really good either. There were two, but no, there was one, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It wasn't really that good, in my opinion, either. But they are making a CG Mario Bros. Movie. I'm intrigued to see how it is. It could be good. We don't know.
Like, what's the plot line?
I don't
Peach
know.
Gets
Kidnapped.
by
Yeah.
Bowser. Mario and Luigi save Peach, not destroy, but defeat Bowser. Oh, whoopee! That's
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
that's
with
a nice story.
well, the thing is,
Like,
the cool
yeah.
thing is that with a character like Mario, you can take.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. Well,
At first, I thought that was going to be pretty stupid.
yeah, it was a good movie, but
it turned out to be a good. Movie.
yeah, it did actually turn out to be really good. But real quick, I'll just say this, and then we'll get back to the boys because that's what this episode's about. No, but so because Mario's such a blank slate, with the right writers, you can come up with amazing stories for him and the world of Mario. You can because for example, I mean, all video game characters, like Sonic, for example, was kind of a blank slate when they first started. But as you got more and more into the series, there was more developed for the characters and different stuff. And I could go on to a whole different conversation about this subject alone. But we're not here for that right now. We promised the people. No, but yeah, for me, just the dynamic of the people working basically as double agents in the Seven, and I could also see Huey kind of being a double agent for or against what's her face Newman, against Newman, where he does find out and he starts like working against her kind of thing, and she's like finding out and is, but he knows.
See him being a soup.
You see Huey being a soup.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, it's possible, and people are.
His mother ran away.
Yeah, I know. He has a similar story to Starlight a little bit, where his mother ran away like her dad ran away.
Doesn't even know.
Yeah, it is possible. It's possible, but
I hope it is.
I kind of don't like.
He's a soup. She's a soup. They can get down and dirty with each other and
Fucking
make little
Christ.
soup babies. There you go.
I kind of hope that he isn't, because I
their
like.
babies would be more powerful than they would be.
Well, yes, but I kind of hope that he isn't, because I don't know. I like the idea that he's just a normal guy, and I like the idea that all the boys are They're just normal people. I mean, granted, they do like crazy shit and stuff, but like they don't have any special superpowers or anything. Huey's, of course, the most normal of anybody.
Yeah.
But
yeah, two things I want to see go down in season 3, if they do it. I hope they do it. But anyways, Ryan and his dad go head to head in an all-out suit battle, which would be really dope.
Yeah.
And then see Ryan being trained up
Mm-hmm.
as a actual superhero.
I tell you, I would like to see more of like what they're going to do with the Church of the Collective, but I don't know what they can do at this point. I kind of want to. Maybe the Deep takes it over. Maybe they're like, hey, we need someone to fill the shoes, and he's like, fuck it, I'm
He
Church of
could.
Collective guy now.
That actually sounds like a pretty
You
good
know,
idea
like-
for them to do.
Yeah, could do.
And then A-Train dies because of his heart attack. Oh,
I don't.
That's a shame.
Well, A-Train's heart attack wasn't really a thing anymore in season 2. I think once he's off the stuff, because the whole, he's kind of an allegory for like overdosing, right? He took more and more to get better, but it affected his health in every
Got
other
worse,
way.
yeah.
And I think, well, I say it didn't affect him, but in episode 3 of season 2, it did. Homelander even told him, he like, I don't know what's going on. It's
You're
your
out.
heart. Yeah, you're out. Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know. That'll be an interesting dynamic to see where that goes too. But yeah, man, I'm just stoked for season 3 altogether. It's gonna be fucking rad.
I'm excited for the first episode just because it's called
Cause it's called Payback. Yeah. I'm just stoked for the whole thing because it's fucking boys. I like that, and I like it a lot.
That mean a whole lot. Like
Yeah.
Stormfront getting payback, Homelander getting payback.
I don't think Stormfront's gonna get. I think if any, they're probably gonna build Stormfront's like return up for a while, but I don't think he's gonna be like the big bad either. Because like I don't think.
Payback.
Well, maybe. I was thinking it's kind of like they're all getting payback in different ways. Like Homelander wants to get payback on the fact that his son. He doesn't want to like get back at his son, but his son
shows Billy over.
right, and he killed his girlfriend. Well, not killed, but really maimed his girlfriend. Billy wants to get payback on Homelander still for basically killing his wife because, in a way, he inadvertently did. Same with Stormfront and everything. And yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be. I don't
It's
know.
tough.
And the character of Newman, I think, is going to be really interesting too. Seeing what her, and Edgar. Oh God, Edgar Wright. He's going to be such a good actor for,
I feel
for
like
that
he's
guy.
a
But you think he's a super? He
Oh,
might
yeah.
be. He might be. Yeah, he might be. I don't know if there's much to substantiate that on right now, but he could be. He could definitely be a soup. There's not really anything against that right now either.
No.
But yeah, we're gonna. Soldier Boy, Hero-gasm, fucking Huey working with the enemy, basically,
But knowing he's probably going to turn on the enemy makes it. Even
Yeah,
better.
yeah, of course. I mean, of course, that's how it's going to go at the end, but it's going to be really, I don't know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really fucking
It
interesting.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we got for right now.
Yeah. And we promise there's not going to be any more obsessing over the boys. We'll probably bring it up every now and then just because of conversation and shit.
Oh, remember that?
But yeah,
Remember
exactly.
this?
But we're not going to have a whole another episode dedicated to just the boys anymore. Promise. Yeah.
All right. Anything else to add? My good man.
At this time, and we actually just did this today. We voted. Go get out and vote. I recommend if you can go to a physical place to vote. If you can vote early, do that. That's what we just did. If you can vote otherwise, then vote other. If you would prefer mail-in ballot, that's fine. Personally, I think it would be the best to get as many physical votes, especially because our current commander-in-chief doesn't want to even count the ballots if they're mailed in, but that's besides the point. Vote, make your voice heard, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there
Wear a
anything?
mask.
Yeah, if you go outside, wear a mask. Wear a mask to all events that you can, and if you can't wear a mask for the event, you're not going to be allowed in the event. So just wear a mask. Fucking do it.
Do it.
And of course, as always, take care of yourself. I hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, I hope you find something that you do enjoy. If you have any questions, comments, whatever for us, please let us know. We'd love to talk to you about different things. I'm very much an open book. Jordan, not so much, but
A little bit.
you know, nothing's really off limits for me. And yeah, just whatever. Hope you enjoy, like I said. And we'll talk to you guys later. Again, promise we're done gushing over The Boys. We do love it, though. And I hope if you haven't seen it yet,
Go watch it.
because it's fucking good. We'll see you
Another
guys.
friendly reminder. Go watch it. And good night.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Peace.